Okay guys, right, today's video is going to be on simple interest versus compound interest. Okay, now we've looked at both of them separately, so I'm going to do two very similar examples next to each other here, and then on the next page, the next slide, I'm going to do a question which involves both of them. And in today's lesson, you're going to be going between one and the other. Okay, so let's look at this situation here. £2,000 in a bank account, simple interest of 4% for 3 years. And then I've got here compound interest, £2,000 compound interest of 4% for 3 years. So it looks like the exact same question. The only difference is that one is simple and one is compound. So therefore, let's go through both of them now. And again, if you want to pause the video and try yourself, please do. So, simple interest of 4%. So therefore, for simple interest, what we do is we find out what that interest is. So we do 0.04 times by 2,000 because we want to work out what 4% of 2,000 is. So I use my calculator and I go 0.04 and I would multiply that by 2,000 and I would get 80. So therefore that is how much you increase in the first year. And for simple interest, if you're doing it for 3 years, you increase by 80 in the second and then by 80 in the third. So in total, out of those 3 years, you're increasing it by 240, and that is how much you would then add to the 2,000. So £2,000 add the 240 is 2,240. Okay, so therefore that would be an example of simple interest. Now the exact same question for compound interest is a completely different method. For compound interest, we start with the 2,000 and we multiply it by an increase of 4%, which is 1.04, and then to the power of 3. So if I was to use my calculator again, I would do 2,000 times by 1.04 to the power of 3, and I would get 2249.73. So therefore, a question might say, here's one question, here's another. Which one is going to be better valued by how much? And then you say, well, the compound interest one is going to be better valued by what it looks like £9.73. Okay? Another type of question, they might combine both of them. So they might say, I want to invest £4,000 for 6 years. The first 4 years will be in a simple interest of 3%. The next 2 years will be in a compound interest, okay, of 2.5%. What's the total at the end of the 6 years? So in this situation here, you'd go, right, well, let me just deal with the first 4 years first. That is simple interest, right? So we'd bring that down and we'd say, okay, £4,000 and it's 3% for the first 4 years for simple, so times 0.03. So let me do that now. 4,000 times 0.03 by 0.03. 4,000 times 0.03 is 120. So 120. Okay. And now I would do it for 4 years. So I know it says 6 years here, but simple interest is only for 4 years. So that's the end of the first year. That'll be 120 more for the second, 120 more for the third, and 120 more for the fourth. Okay, so added all together, that's going to be 480. Okay, 480. So at the end of 4 years, be 4,000 plus 480, which is 4,480. So that's what it will be at the end of the 4 years. But then it says the next 2 years after that will be a compound interest of 2.5%. So we don't start with the 4,000 again. We need to go with our new amount, which is 4,480. And that's going to be compound interest for 2 years. So I will go 4,480 times is an increase of 2.5%. Now for that, imagine it said 2%, it would be 1.02. So it's 2.5%, so it's 1.025. And then for 2 years more, to the power of 2. And that would equal, so let me type it in my calculator, 4,480 times by 1.025 to the power of 2 for 2 years is 4,706.80. And therefore what we've done here is combine simple interest to begin with for the first 4 years, and then for the next 2 years use compound interest to get a final answer. Okay, so best of luck with the sheets.